Hombre!
All right, killing the music. Everybody is up and live, and we've got Davey hanging out with us in the chat.
Hey,
Woohoo!
Hi, Davey.
miss you.
And Anthony, of course, thanks you for the reroll. So when that is applicable, we'll of course bring that up. I do apologize. I got busy on a phone call earlier on. I usually do the game recap for this particular game using the Star Wars announcer. However, I forgot to do that. Apologies. Our fill-in is going to be Dale for this particular game, and I will get back on to that next game. I do apologize.
All right, so last time on Star Wars, the Ferrix Job Part 2, let's see, essentially we were all woken up by various things like gongs that were being made by the city, chimes on the intercom, and so forth. Let's see here, Drade was talking to Tycho, who didn't want to go with Drade and Owen to go get Owen's ID changed. So essentially, there was a ship that landed outside our ship, and some porgs had fallen out. That was a part of the cargo. And Tycho became one with the porgs. He was communing with them, rolled extremely well. He was gathering them all up. He was having a great time. Then the rest of us, along with, let's see here. That's right, yeah. Along with Montan, went looking for the spot where we could actually plug in to have the ID for Owen changed. We did find that location. We got into it, but we needed a plasma torch to cut through a wall. So then the ladies were shopping for things that we needed. We let them know we needed a plasma torch too. After they tried to get some things, they were leaving the area. However, Nasara was by herself, and she was ambushed by a bounty hunter, apparently. Somebody wearing Mandalorian armor, anyway. There was a big old fight, which ended up with that person throwing a thermal detonator and injuring like half the team, which needed to be stabilized, which they were. Nasara had been shot a couple of times via being stunned and hit by regular blaster bolt. Let's see. But she was saved by Owen, who managed to grab her off of the speeder bike that the attacker was using, and he got away. The rest of us managed to get ourselves onto the ship and take off right away and enter hyperspace before a CorpSec could find us. And we're on our way to Elrude with a bunch of injured crew members. There you go.
Very good.
Awesome. So, while everybody is on, so a description of Elrude, since we have our new player here with us. Elrude actually sits on the the Outer Rim planets. However, unlike the rest of the Outer Rim, it actually has a measure of corporate life. So it is clean, it is kept, it is very much unlike a lot of the other Outer Rim planets that you might find. The primary source of income for the for most of the sector is the Elrude Mining Corporation, which of course named after the planet. So mining is a very big part of this particular sector. There is an Imperial presence, but it's at the other end, and it is widely known that they tend to not patrol very far outside of their own sector. It's the Outer Rim. It is not easy to get reinforcements out here, so they're just going to try and control what they've got. But Elrude itself is a lovely planet that has not been jacked up by deforesting or heavy mining. The mining that does occur is off-world in other systems. So it is clean. It is a resource for merchants, and it does tend to have a good bit of traffic that flies in and out. I don't remember the name of the planet from the third season of The Mandalorian, but there's an Outer Rim system there that made use of a bunch of droids from the Separatist Army. It's the one that had Jack Black and what's her name in it? Rizzo. There you go. So yeah. So if you want a visual similar to that, out of the way, but actually very clean looking, pretty efficient looking. Just obviously not the issue with the droids. So all of you have actually been, and of course we will introduce Anthony in a dramatically appropriate moment. But the rest of you who have actually been in Elrude for a day now, so you've had a chance to get some recovery. You have been quietly ferreted off of the landing platform because it's, you know, corporate style security here, and people track everything. Some palms were greased to get you out. So Shelly, I don't know if you saw it in the Facebook chat. You have a reroll.
Thank you.
From Davey, and Davey
Yes.
just awarded a reroll to Colin. So Colin, please make sure you write that down on your sheet.
All right. Thank you, Davey.
Thank you, Davy.
Brittany nonchalantly pointing out herself. So,
I have to
That
reroll.
was good.
what's up?
So
I have
Daddy
to reroll.
Tycho was good.
Oh boy.
I could have used one last game.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Everybody could use one last game.
Yeah.
Everybody could have used a couple last game.
Yeah.
Sounds
Given
like
how everyone was rolling, very much so.
Yep, there was a
Hopefully
lot.
the-
As Mike put it, there was a lot of meh out there. It wasn't outright
Yeah.
fails. It was just not a lot of great rolls.
Yeah, hopefully the dice spot will be nice.
Night, Davey.
Take it easy, Davey. Thanks for stopping in. So,
Night, Davey.
the place that you have been taken to, for lack of a better term, is effectively a safe house. This safe house, it's not flashy, but it is a multi-bedroom. It is a multi-bedroom cottage, for lack of a better term. It sits just off of the main merchant square, where some of the more affluent individuals of Elrude might be. Equivalent to middle class, for lack of a better term. There's nothing super flashy on the inside. It's got furnishings. There's no affixed art of any nature. There's a little bit of some topiary out in the front lawn, but that's just to kind of help it blend in with the rest of the homes here. There is use of a speeder that is currently parked in the garage, so it has effective cover. And all of you have. Let's see. There's effectively 3 room or 3 bedrooms in here, so you guys would be potentially doubling up or crashing on the couch or whatnot. But there is enough room for everyone. Since they knew ahead of time that you were making haste and flying in, the refrigerator effectively has been stocked, so there is some food on hand. It's enough for 1 day right now. 2 if you stretch it. Most importantly, though, there are additional med packs to be found in the location, as well as replacement parts if anybody needs to make some repairs to like armor or weapons or anything of that nature. There's a little bit that you can make do here. Outside of that right now, there is a politely quiet hum of the central air that is going on right now, which is a big change of pace from the stressed, sweated smell of the ship that you guys were in for the past, 96 hours or so?
Yeah. Something like that. Okay.
Because of everything that was happening.
So, if we've been here for a day, would
Mhm.
we have gotten back up to full health?
Yes, we'll say at this point you have managed to get back up to full health. You might want to double check some things because obviously you left the planet side in haste. And then of course didn't go through decon. When you hit planet side in Elrude, they again greased palms to get you through. So there still may be some things you want to check. Just make sure you don't have like a lingering cold or a flu or anything of that nature. But no,
Sure, I brought all my Leku
nothing,
with me.
nothing, no open exposed sores or wounds. Just some still bruising at this point.
Okay.
Because you've had some time to recover, obviously, on the flight back too. So
Right. Okay. All right. Have we been able to get in contact with Lord Toronar at all?
not directly.
Okay.
Actually, you have been in contact with his cousin, who is the person you ended up meeting here on planet the last time you guys made a run to Elrude. It is Drekker Kiona.
Okay.
He's the roguishly handsome, young, and brash-looking individual who somewhat resembles John Cusack.
And that's Lord Kiona, right?
Effectively, yes. Yeah. He does have a noble title.
Okay.
Although in the corporate sector, it's not like you're going to have to go around and use that. It's in some cases that might even be to a detriment, because it sounds
So
like
what would he be publicly known as here?
Here it would be Mr. Kiona, or CE or COO or director, some sort of a corporate title. Because you also know him as the person who's running sovereign mining operations here through Elbert.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. So, Drade would make his way over to Nasara, wherever she's at right now, if we're all like still hanging out in the cottage.
Presumably,
I guess.
yes.
Okay. So he walks over to her and sits down next to her and he's like, "So, how you holding up?"
Well, I'm angry with myself. But that could have gone a lot differently, and just grateful that it went the way that it did instead.
Yeah, really did. It would have been nice if we knew that someone was after you, but yeah, something that just I think we need to deal with, because if that happens to us, just because of one thing that happened to you recently, I mean, we all have stuff that we've been hiding from or running from.
I'm always surprised how fast word travels to all of these backwater planets,
Yeah, especially in the Outer Rim, everyone's scrambling for opportunities. So whatever they can get, they kind of grab it. It's not like the core, where if you have a job, well, you might be okay as long as you're willing to live under the Empire. But that seems to be a common thread all of us have. None of us are okay with that. We all understand where the Empire stands. So I wonder if we can be more lax, with each other, letting each other know what's out there. That way we can prepare if something like this happens to any one of us. We'll know.
You have a good point. And I would hate to bring my trouble onto any of you. So, as we've already done, maybe I should explain.
And at that moment, you hear the chime of a comm system coming from inside the building.
It's coming from inside the house.
Yep.
They're in the house!
Right.
Yeah, if you have seen Star Wars, in any of the episodes, they do have certain things that are very similar to wall phones.
Right.
Just in case you don't happen to have your comm on.
Yep. Yeah. So I'll go over to it, and to answer it, press the button.
Okay. So it was all doodaloo, 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 doodaloo. You pick it up. There's a little video that that picks up, and actually, to that point, now that I'm thinking about it, that actually comes up in Andor, where that poor schmo happened to have his best or his only friend on the video call that had a bad signal.
Nice.
Man, that guy just needs to go clean house on his family. I know he's supposed to be a bad guy, but oof, his mom's got to go. Like, there's Darth Vader and there's his mom.
Oh, shoot.
Wow.
If you get a chance to watch Andor, you'll know. She is, not nice.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so video image comes up, and it is Mr. Kiona. and he says, "Oh, Drade, glad I caught you. Is everybody else there on or at the house?"
It looks like we are. We're all just still trying to shake off what happened. Thank you for the establishment, by the way. It's actually pretty cozy.
Oh, not a problem. I had like a let you know before you sat down. I had some warning, so anytime we can get a little bit of a heads up, we can probably make something happen. But that being said, you should be getting a knock at your door here pretty quick. We are sending somebody over, a new member of the team.
Oh,
I believe my cousin is going to be sending you some new job parameters. So for the time being, don't use your regular communications. And I think that there's supposed to be more, I guess, explained there. So apologies, I'm not in those loops, but he told me I should give you a heads up.
sure. Excellent. Did he say what method he was going to use to contact us? That's been kind of a thing with us being clandestine. We've been fumbling with that.
Yeah, that's what, yeah, there is, I think, a messenger droid on its way. So
Got it. Okay, excellent. Well, yeah, then we'll meet with them. Do we know this new teammate's name?
I believe he goes by the name of Ed, and he basically he puts an image on like a tablet screen and shows it to the video call. So
Okay,
it's a little grainy, but you do have a visual of what he looks like.
got it. Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you again, and yeah, I'll wait for that messenger droid, and we'll make sure to give Ed as warm a welcome as we can, given our current state.
Completely understood. And if there's anything you need planet side, give me a ring through this through the house communicator, and I'll see to it you get whatever you need.
Got it. Thank you, Lord Kiona. Really appreciate it.
Not a problem. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Beep.
Oh, all right. So he turns back and he's like, well, all right then. So Ed is on his way. We'll find out his story, I'm sure, as soon as we get that knock. And if there's a droid that comes up, let me know. I'll answer for that.
Right.
So Ed, as you are approaching via speeder, you have a droid that is actually piloting the speeder for you. It's a really old looking protocol droid that seems to be probably several times refurbished. So it doesn't even look like your typical 3PO style unit. It looks actually very different. Like maybe somebody has custom mods of some kind, or maybe they just happen to like older looking droids. But a little bit more boxy and kind of orange looking, as opposed to the polished look of some of the classier 3PO style protocol droids.
Given the situation, I say nothing because you work with what you can get.
Right. You have actually been the spec so far is that you're being assigned to a team. They will fill you in from there, as well as giving you the specific contract details. And you are also to give the rest of the team members basically a clean bill of health. So just give them some basic checks, make sure everybody else is up to snuff, and then they'll probably fill you in from there. So as you are meandering about, it's not the droid clearly is not going at any rapid pace. as you are flying, it turns its head and looks, and it says, "Statement: we are nearing the destination."
Thank you.
And it comes to a stop, just curbside, effectively, to this quaint, if not average looking house that kind of blends in with the others that are in this area. And this is your most places out here. It would look similar to Flagstaff. You've got some pine trees. You probably have some pine needles on the ground and whatnot. There's some bushes and dirt, but not like heavy tree coverage in the area. So it's got some shade. Looks nice. Definitely way better than the Ecumenopolis planets that you might normally see on, or might normally be on. So it climbs out. It does not open the door for you.
I get off, head for the door,
Okay.
rap on the door.
Owen just gets up and just there's an eye hole to peek through, right?
Of course. Actually, it can
just-
do you one better. There's actually a video screen.
He just looks at the video screen and just calls out to the others. Hey, we got someone at the door.
Oh, yeah, that's probably Ed. So then Drade walks up, looks at the screen. I take it looks like
Mhm.
Ed. Okay,
With a droid.
with the droid. Okay, like, 2 for 1 if that's the right droid. Okay, well, goes ahead and
Droids.
goes ahead and opens the door.
Montana has his blaster not out, but sitting on his lap.
Fair. Okay. So door opens up. You see the new individual standing there as well as the droid. Ed, why don't you explain to the group what they see?
Ed is a not older, like mid-40s. Guy has definite wear and tear. He's got gray, bright blue eyes, but very wiry looking, tall, just about 5'8", almost like a scarecrow. But the eyes, just when he looks at every single one of you, it's like he's looking for something. Not anything bad. He's looking for something. I assume you're the new team.
And I assume your Ed. Is that what you go by?
Or Dr. Dross, whichever you prefer.
No, we've been a team for a while now.
Yeah, news a relative term. Come on in. Is this your droid, or did this just arrive with you?
This was the chauffeur.
All right. Well, yeah, come on in. If you have anything else you need to bring on in, this is our abode for the time being.
And Ed's toting a bag with him, which I'm going to find the nearest open space table, open it up, take out some medical equipment. All right, who's first?
Oh. Gosh.
Oh,
all
so
right.
you're an actual doctor.
Looking at all of you, it looks like you need one.
It's been a rough week.
Yeah. Jump inside a compactor for fun?
No, just for business.
I know the type.
So let's take a moment real quick, starting with Brittany. Why don't you describe what Nassara looks like?
I am a purple Twi'lek. Let's see, what are my stats? About 5'8", little round, apparent age 25. Wearing casual pop clothes.
Okay. Dale, what does Drade look like?
So, Drade, he's 5'11", looks to be like around 29, 170 pounds, like athletic build, black shoulder-length hair with a white streak in it, tan skin, and he seems to always wear these technological-looking wraparound sunglasses, and he's wearing like just typical simple clothing with a blast vest and a blaster on his hip.
Okay. Shelly, what does Ashijak look like? Hello?
Sorry. She is not as tall. She's 5'5". She's in her 30s, her early 30s, around 113 pounds. She's orange skinned with white markings, and
She's a Togruta.
sorry, yes, I'm a Turgut, yeah, and her Montrels and her Liku, they are striped blue. And she's always wearing a cloak. You don't usually see her without a gray cloak wrapped around her. And she's usually pretty quiet.
Okay. Mike, what does Montan look like?
I'm dropping a picture in the Star Wars discussion Discord. So that's a Bothan. He's sub 5 feet tall, but instead of foppish like that guy looks, picture him like he's got workman's clothes on. He's he's a technician, so he's got tools, and he's also got an astromech droid nearby.
He's a tall 4 foot something.
Yeah.
Slender.
Yep. Colin, what does Owen
midget
look like?
Bothan. Owen is a male human, 5'11". He's about 28, not 28, 26, I meant. He is a tanned Caucasian, redhead, has hazel eyes, few scars that are a mix between Blaster and Tusken. At the moment, he is, besides, being roughed up from the whole Ferrex degree, he is wearing basically poor man's clothes. The type you'd see him in like the Outer Rim or Hut territory, as his way to blend in. Besides the old cloak.
Cool. All right, so there you go. So the droid at this point turns and looks at Nasara, and it says, "Statement, Lady Nasara, I am here to deliver. I am here to deliver a message."
Go ahead.
So you see
Is it a private message?
see a little antenna come up, and then you've got you have an update on your data pad.
Okay, I will check my data pad.
Okay. And then the droid just turns and walks over to Owen. And a small compartment opens. It reaches in with, it's basically got like 3 droid fingers, clamp sort of thing. Reaches in, pulls out what appear to be physical coins for credits. And and then it says again, "Statement. These are for you, meatbag." There's 1,000 credits there for you, Owen.
Wow.
What are you getting paid for?
What's that for?
I think for bailing Nasara out.
Ah. Yeah, that would make sense.
I helped carry your back.
Jerome, do I recognize the droid?
Oh yes,
Okay. So I'll
it's Ghost. Yeah.
do I read my message?
I don't know. Do you?
Can the message be
Yes.
revealed? on
Yes.
screen, or are you going to like
But-
message it to me?
But it requires you to take a coin and scratch it off.
Dang it. Owen, can I borrow one of those credits?
I know, just whoosh.
Yeah. Nice.
Am I getting
Suddenly
it
the
back?
screen just got super difficult.
Hmm?
No, you're fine. Basically,
Gee, are you messenger or are you staying?
exclamation. Oh no, I do not wish to stay here any longer than I need to.
Oh, we're not that bad. We could use you,
The
but
chauffeur?
I know you're needed at home too.
Statement. That is affirmative. I am told that I am still required for much of your son's tutelage. Oh, how
Yes.
he enjoys an Armalite scope.
Huh.
I know he's in good hands.
Okay, next mission we're bringing in Nasara's son for protection.
That's not a good idea.
So at that point, he turns and walks out to the speeder to drive away. The message that you got is literally just like a shortwave text file that was given to your datapad to prevent it from bouncing over the HoloNet everywhere. It is from Lord Torinar. There are instructions to take the Amber Gauntlet, which is awaiting for you on the landing, and gives you the docking bay that the Amber Gauntlet is currently residing at.
Okay.
You are to leave the Blue Saber behind. And it also, of course, indicates that gives you the information that Ed is to be a part of your team. The other two have been reassigned, and as of this point, Drade is the team lead.
I'll go ahead and show the message to Drade.
Takes a look at it, reads it over. Okay. Well, right then.
Oh, we could always need to use a medic.
Suppose it makes sense. We'd want to change ships. Blue Saber is a little hot right now.
And we just got chased down by a bounty hunter.
Right. Exactly.
Why were you chased down by a bounty hunter?
Why
Oh,
were
it
we
just look-
chased down by a bounty hunter?
Owen looks at Nasara as he proceeds to pull out the restraining collar and binder cuffs. I'd like to know that too.
Did you check this for trackers?
Montan, can you check those for trackers, please?
Of course I checked it for trackers.
Oh, okay, good.
Jerry, can I have checked it for trackers?
Yes, you could have. Why don't you go ahead and give me a what would effectively be a downtime roll?
I mean, what would we have been doing for 9 days on the ship?
Well, that's the thing. I've had time, but we haven't been playing.
Besides- The fact that
So what,
People-
computer programming?
What do we just go into stasis for 9 days?
Hold on. Well, another die on top of that, so I rolled one die too few. 19.
Okay, good job.
Nice.
Yeah, so the way these particular shackles are set up, there's no tracker that could have been attached to them. They're kind of primitive.
Okay. Yeah, of course we checked them.
Just asking, so who wants a checkup first?
fair enough.
The rules are no one's leaving this house until everyone's gotten checked out.
Hold on. There's a question. Why did we have a bounty hunter after us?
Okay, I'll go first.
Well,
Just
you're the one who
Because he was the one
Logistically,
you
what-
copped.
what does the checkup entail? Is it just like a scanner, or is there like
Yeah, he's
No,
just
no,
basically
no,
he's
hold
just
on.
giving you he's just
no?
giving you
Like if he's
Come on.
doing it in here, then we might as well talk while he's doing it.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just
That is my thought.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
just a
that's-
basic
I'm literally
scan.
holding up a med scan.
Yeah, it's just a basic scan to double check and make sure everything is right on your body.
She's like, I've got a doctor's appointment.
Right.
Mhm.
So I learned after the Narshada mission that there has been a bounty put on me because I was noted during the mission. I didn't think it would move this fast. But it looks like we're gonna have to, or I'm gonna have to be a little more careful with moving about. In essence, the long and short of it is, my husband was a very important person, and he was murdered by the Empire, but his sacrifice allowed my son and I to get off the planet, and now it seems that word has spread that we weren't actually killed in the attack.
Well, for a corpse, you are remarkably healthy.
I'm really glad to hear that.
Who owns the bounty?
Jerome, did it say?
It does, but I don't believe you guys got that far with it. Just
That's true.
you saw the posting.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds right. I didn't get that information.
I
Your
want
Narsadar job, so I'm guessing a hut bounty.
It could be.
Ugh.
Could be a hunt bounty, could be an empire bounty.
Pray for
Do-
an empire bounty. Then.
Do we have a way of looking that up, Jerome?
If you had the appropriate guild affiliation, yes, because it's not
Oh.
it's not a typical wanted ad.
It's not like a public access thing. Okay.
No.
So I get done with Brittany, and I move on. All right, who's next?
I suppose I could.
Let's get the people
next.
who are hit with a thermal detonator out of the way.
Exactly.
I stop. Say that again.
The bounty hunter used a thermal detonator in the middle of the conflict. About half the team was injured. I was one of the lucky ones who didn't get injured because I was far enough away.
I was not.
I start scanning her, Jerome. Just
Okay.
Going through.
Yeah.
I'm assuming everybody physically
File that
Yes.
away.
but there's just bruising and
Yeah.
probably some like light fracture bones, like splints.
Yeah. I mean, it at best maybe, you
Couple
know,
cracked ribs.
yeah, nothing. You know, nothing major. It's all superficial. And you're kind of blurry,
What did
Anthony.
your
Just
husband
FYI.
do?
Yeah, you're kind of blurry.
Why was your husband very important?
He was a political leader on the planet.
If he did something to tee off, what did he do to tee off the Empire, if I may ask?
He married me, an alien.
I
Gotta
know
love
they're
the
racist,
road.
but come on.
Okay. If it was a hut, they wouldn't get into shit, but
It's been over a year, and that's how I met Lord Tornar. Came across him while I was trying to find somewhere safe, and ended up working for him. So that's why my son and I are there. And I thought that we were in the clear, at least for a while, but
You got the original bounty on you?
evidently.
I'm meaning in person. I want.
Oh, do I have it? No, I don't think so. I think he just showed it to me.
All right.
Okay. Well, Nasara, I'm sorry for your loss. And I'm sure the rest of us, and I'm betting even Dr. Dross over here, we're all right there with you when it comes to the Empire, dealing with them. If they are clearly with the dark side.
So, if the Empire's at, we can't. We would have a hard time getting rid of an Empire-based bounty.
Especially after we just teed off one of their little trading buddies.
Unless we can remove it from their system.
Good luck.
Well, that's what I do.
Yeah, right.
Anyways.
That's literally what we were trying to do before we got ambushed. But for the time being, we don't have access to that now. It doesn't seem like. So Owen and Nasara, you both, when you are outside, no matter what you're doing, you got to wear some face coverings, something. The more it looks like you need to wear it, the better. Some sort of breathing mask, anything. That way, if any patrol asks you, oh, what are you wearing that for? You have to keep it on. You know, that way it's going to be at least slightly more difficult for somebody to punch out in a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could see if Drakkar can source us some baggy clothing and masks and whatnot. We can mix and match.
I would also like a mask, a helmet.
Maybe
Okay.
even simple makeup.
That too, yeah. Whatever you can do to change your outlook and consider going by a different name. That way we can at least refer to you as something other than what's, going to be read on bounty certificates or what have you.
Okay, I'll think that through for a while.
Okay. I mean, it's until, this is until we can get that scrubbed if we can, given Montan's skills, I think we can, but clearly finding a spot to upload those files, it's a little trickier. Beyond that, okay, good. First order of business then, since I've been named the new lead, seems that Tycho and Alatek are on a different assignment. Ed, Dr. Dross, where are you from? What do you like? What's your deal? Talk to us.
At this point, I am done with the Chakruta, and I turn to the new party leader, and I start scanning him, and I just casually reach into my jacket and I hand you a sentencing slip. It's a Imperial Court manslaughter.
Ooh.
5 years. Stripping of medical license, stripping of property, stripping of just it goes through. Yeah. A Moff brought in his son who was playing around where he shouldn't have been, got shot up, and I couldn't save the kid. The kid was DOA. He wanted a miracle. I couldn't perform it. So I got thrown in the hole. Took everything of my life, my practice, every single thing that was precious. So I almost wish I had kid at that point. But you know what? I'm not a bitter man. Now I provide medical services for altruistic individuals such as yourself in need.
Well, Doctor, I'm sorry for what's been done to you. And he hands the slip back to you, and he's like, believe you me, all of us have that type of story with the Empire. Somebody's betrayed us, somebody's taken something from us, or both. So you're in good company. And we appreciate you helping us out. It's really good that we have a doctor, especially right now. So welcome
Do
to
me
the
a
team.
favor, don't die.
Right. Well, all right. So, team, seeing as how we're kind of talking over what's been going on in our past, I'm thinking because of what we just went through, we should probably come clean with at least most of what we got in our past. I know that's tough to do because we've been doing the opposite for probably a long time, maybe years, maybe our entire lives, depending on your backstory. But I mean, the more we know, the more we're prepared in case that bounty hunter pops up or whoever it is pops up. We'll know who they're after. We'll know how to defend ourselves. So,
Yeah. She's gonna have kind of a slight panicked look in her eyes at the mention of saying who they're supposed to, who they really are.
I know it's not ideal, but I mean, I'll tell you what. Since I'm the lead now, if you are all willing, then I'll go first and explain what's going on. Because I think I can trust everybody here, even Dr. Dross. He just arrived, but look what he's doing. He's immediately helping us out. He didn't ask for credits. He didn't ask for anything. He was willing to show us the slip. He knows we're on the right side. And I know everyone here is on the right side as well. So if you're all willing, then just tell me and spill the beans first.
Well, we've heard Nasara's story. We basically know Owen's story. I guess that leaves Ashijock and me and you.
I mean, if I'm asking, yeah, I'm asking if you're willing, then I guess you're right. They did pretty much explain what's going on. I'll go next to show, that
Sure.
I care about the team. Okay. It turns to Ashi. You okay with that?
I suppose.
Okay. All right. Well, first, might as well I'll do this. And he goes ahead and he like unclips a thing that's on the back of his visor. He throws that to the side, and he actually takes off his visor. And when you look, he does not have eyeballs. Where you would normally see that, you see eye sockets as if he would have them, but it looks like for his entire life it's not like gory or anything. There's just skin within the eye socket, and yet he's looking around as if he can still see, even though he's got his things off and he's just aiming his head around. I am
Nasara like holds her hand up like this.
Can you give me some soda?
Mother of God.
You want really? Okay, he walks over to wherever the soda is, opens up the fridge, takes that out, and tosses it over to Ashi.
Yeah, she does catch it.
Ew.
I'm checking out the Bothan.
Okay.
Oh, the Bothan wasn't hurt. The Bothan is just fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're getting checked out. You don't.
So,
Right.
what
Yeah.
happened?
So it's
You
Yeah,
fly
two-
pretty good for not having eyes.
Yeah. Let me explain. This is just for show. Obviously, at this point, should be clear. I'm not human. Part of a race known as the Miraluka. Every one of us is actually force sensitive to a degree, and that's what we use actually in order to see. Our race evolved away from the use of eyes a long time ago, and I'm not seeing all of you by light like what you do. I actually see you because of the force. It means a few things, like I can't tell colors. If you ask me what something's color is, I have to remember because I heard about it and I memorized it to play like I've been human this whole time. But yeah, anything else though, I'm able to see. So don't let this fool you. But I wear these so that others don't realize what I am, and I make sure of that because it would be extraordinarily bad for the Empire to find me, especially knowing what I used to do.
Understandable.
What did you used to do?
Well, I fought in the Clone Wars. I acted as commander of the Omega Squad because at the time, even though I was young, I was still a Jedi. Padawan, technically. My name is Jedi Traz Dolayaro. At your service.
And Nasara will drop her data pad and then like scramble to pick it back up.
Can I get that Jedi name again for with the notes?
Yeah. Traz, that's Traz Dolo Yaro. Just spelled out like you'd say it.
Okay.
YOLO.
Yeah, the moment Owen hears the Jedi and Force comments, he is looking very much so uncomfortable because of his time in the Empire.
Okay.
Ashi,
Perfect.
you're just going to stare at Drade for a few moments, and then she's going to reach into her cloak, and she is going to pull out her lightsaber.
Seeing
Nasara
that,
drops her data pad again.
yeah. Seeing that, you see Traz's eyebrows raise up, and he's like, "You were a part of the Order. You escaped."
I was in the Clone Wars as well. I was under the tutelage of Master Crya Claire. Brugo, I think is how you pronounce it.
You're gonna have to spell those two.
Yeah. I'll just put it in the. And my real name is not Ashijak. It's Asata Sekru.
Asada, pleasure. I've been looking for years to see if anyone else survived. I was starting to think I was possibly the only one. How did you make it out?
By the sacrifice of my master.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yes.
Wow.
But I didn't realize that there were others as well.
This is fantastic news. I mean, I only got out because the Omega Squad, they weren't willing to follow Order 66. I fought with them for a while, and They knew who I was, so they actually helped me to get off planet. Been hiding ever since. Gosh,
Yeah.
I actually don't know what happened to my master. I hadn't been assigned to him for quite a while when the order was given down. I've been under the assumption he was slain like the rest, but never gotten confirmation.
I was still Padawan when everything happened.
Actually, same here. Well, it's fantastic news. Montan, it's your turn, pal. What's your story?
So Nasara is holding on to her data pad very tightly, and she just looks kind of very nervous, but trying to not be nervous.
You're waiting for the slot machine to come up with third Jedi, right?
Ding, ding, ding. Oh
As
no!
I'm scanning the box, and I'm like, he better not pull a damn lightsaber out.
She's gonna put her lightsaber back.
Yeah, Monte will look around and be like, I am not a Jedi at all. I was a well. There's a couple phases here. When I was younger, I made a droid update and put it out on the HoloNet for download, which allows people to hijack Imperial security droids and reprogram them. So I did time as a juvenile for that. And then later I got a job at a space yard where there was much trafficking happening. Wookiees, just various sorts of slaves. And I was a droid repairman. And I started programming the droids that came through my shop to, when possible, release slaves or ferry them to the wrong ship to somewhere safer. This went on for a while, and I dodged notice because nobody worries about their droid misbehaving. But they caught on. And when they were closing in on me, I jumped one of those ships and ended up in Torinar's employ.
Well,
I am actively wanted by for what I've done. There are warrants out for me. I'm hesitant to give you my real name because of those warrants. Because if I don't know, there are apparently enough Jedi here. If somebody asks you if you know me and you lie, I worry that they may know.
I
So
think
far,
you're
I'm not
in the hot seat.
actively-
Two Jedi in the room. Two kids that should have been dead. And you, someone who's undoubtedly notorious, your name doesn't matter at this point. We're all dead on sight. Get used to it.
Doctor has a point. We're all clearly in this together. And it's kind of why I was hoping we could actually unload some of this stuff so that we know we are all in this together. We all have something to fight for.
The name is Grunhuvova.
Pleasure.
That's
Come on, Dad. Got it.
He'll look over at Owen and be like, "See, you needed a new name." He points at everybody.
Yeah, I know.
Which now I go to Owen and start.
I'm
looking
healthy.
over it.
I'm healthy as I can be, Doc. I get what you
Doesn't
get exactly
matter.
what you need.
You
I
can't leave until you're cleared.
I
Give me a
know.
full
I know.
sniffles or anything.
Uh,
You guys spent how many days in space before you got here? Sharing the same air. God knows what else you released. Plus, when was the last time you checked your scrubbers?
Yeah, Drade.
Yep.
I've been busy as of late. Apologies, but you have a point, Doc. It's probably good that we're going to be taking a different ship for a bit.
Probably. And before anybody goes on, I'm making sure you're not carrying any communicable diseases since I'll be going with you.
Understandable. All right.
And just to level the playing field, the only reason why I'm here is because our dear Lord needed a off the books medical physician for something, doctor client privilege, but I did him a solid. He's doing me one. He's keeping me employed and allowing me to practice without worrying about the Empire sniffling around for my license.
So you're saying Lord Torinar is also free of communicable diseases?
Everyone here, as soon as I'm done with Owen, should be, and then we'll be good to go, wherever that may be.
Right as Ed mentions that he's, being covered by Lord Torinar, active ping sonar rings out, from Mike, and it's like, uh-oh, they're on to me.
All right.
Yeah, no, trust me, I'm actively wanted by the Empire too.
For what though? We knew you were wanted by the Empire. Just leaving?
It was leaving, but I never really gave the full story on why I left.
Do you want to now?
Might as well. I worked on a Venator class frigate. It was around the core worlds near the Outer Rim that I had a sleazy, very much so sleazy commanding officer.
Wait,
That-
you said it was around the core worlds and the Outer Rim. Which? Those are two different
The
places.
trade routes.
Oh, a trade route. Okay.
The trade routes.
Yeah.
The sleazy officer was the commander of the frigate. That was you know how those are with trade routes. They make sure no contraband is going to which way and which. Well, thing is, he
Emotional damage.
business, bribing, all that such, and he was a pirate himself, blowing up traders to make it look like pirate attacks, only to pocket their cargo so he can sell it himself. I eventually had enough during one of the firefights and purposely sabotaged the equipment only for when he looked away to shoot him in the back and get out. That was, of course, once I made it to a space station, I had to disguise myself as a civilian. Always kept my equipment around in case I needed it. The cloak was just one of the ways of hiding my appearance.
All right then.
So not only desertion, but shooting a commanding officer.
I suppose now is a good time to let you guys know that I'm not really a mechanic.
What?
Yeah, I mean that was probably clear.
Yeah, you broke the hyperfix and the hyper jump engine at one point on Lord Torinar's ship.
I didn't.
Very deep, heavy sigh from Ed.
I'm just still surprised they haven't sent a bounty hunter for me yet.
Well, for all we know,
Well,
they have.
well.
Have
Well-
you ever considered cosmetic surgery?
What?
Cosmetic surgery. At least
What
for
about
some.
it? Oh yeah.
From what I remember about in physiology, your hair is very important. I don't want to get under your skin for fear of messing up nerve endings. But at least for as I motioned to Owen, we could probably do a couple of things to change your appearance slightly.
Yeah, one look for me on the HoloNet, and as Drake did, instantly appeared. We're still trying to work on getting it kind of expunged and my ID fixed.
Well, the doctor has a point, though. Instead of wearing something on your face, if he has the skills and is willing, and both of you are willing, especially right now as he looks to Owen and Asara, getting your faces changed would probably help out if you're willing.
Yeah. I still have my Imperial uniform, so that could come of a benefit as well. If
Would
we
have burned that thing.
I only kept it in case I needed to.
Montan's like.
I only kept it in case I needed to fool you, just lower ranks.
Right.
That's really the only reason why I still have that damn thing.
Like I said, death sentences all around. Carrying an Imperial uniform, automatic death sentence. Or at least,
I'm a walking death sentence either way.
yeah.
Well, I'd prefer that we not get close enough to infiltrate anything Empire that needs a uniform. But that's just me.
So here's a question: do you guys have, like, we've already made Owen an identity? We just haven't been able to put it in the system yet. Do the rest of you have, registered identities?
Mine was technically expunged a long time ago because I'm supposed to be dead.
Okay.
But I'm sure if any Imperial realizes what I can do, well, there you go. You can try to look for me and you probably won't find anything. And this has helped out for quite some time now.
I'm pretty sure the Empire probably sent a Inquisitor.
I doubt it.
So wait, you don't have a chain code? Is that what you're saying?
You could try to find it.
Well, that's
Probably.
bad.
You probably have the same outlook with Ashi here.
Well, I've built him a new chain code, but we have to get to an actual Imperial facility and hack into the system, which I can do. But the last time we tried to, that's what we were doing when we got hurt.
At the last planet, that's what we were doing, but the bounty hunter showed up for Basaro. And kinda blew everything to hell and back.
I suppose it could be
But
useful to
as for cosmetic
redo mine
surgery,
too.
I'm down for it. Would make things a lot easier on my behalf. Won't stop me from concealing my rifle from under my cloak, though.
I do not need a new ID.
Okay, just offering.
Honestly, if we're going to get stopped anywhere, they're going to ask for a chain code. Having just a simple ID of some sort for them to look and not bother, it'll save a lot of trouble and possibly prevent another altercation.
He has
Like
a
the
point.
last time we came here.
You know what? Sign me up.
All right.
Montana, you probably should start working on that.
I'll have the droid start building chain codes.
Okay.
He's a better slicer than I am.
All right.
When the droid is a better splicer than the splicer.
Well, yeah, I loaded him up with the skill, and plus I gave him a processor that lets him hack twice in a round, and he's currently hacking at 7D. So
Nice.
essentially 14D per round of hacking speed. Yeah, he can work on it. That's a thing.
The trick is once you get them done, is getting them into the system.
That's our problem.
Which, if we have somebody with an Imperial uniform walking in, minding his own business, doing his own thing, entering those chain codes in the system, wouldn't be a far stretch. Although we would have to, as I start looking at Owen's face, we would probably have to change a few things.
I don't mind the
Nose,
cosmetic surgery.
brow,
Yeah.
chin.
It'll come into favor.
I think he
Do
needs
you
more.
have,
Is
do you have
Owen
everything you
thinner
need
or-
for that?
I have my own.
Sorry, is he what?
Is Owen thin? Is he stocky?
I've actually never been asked that. He weighs about 210,
How tall is he?
5'11".
He's a beanpole.
But so are a good bit of other officers. They're kind of beanpoles too, so.
Yeah, but young officer, and he's young, right?
26.
He's 20. Okay, so he's young and thin. He's not old and fat. But they wouldn't be looking for an old and fat guy.
So then disguise him so that he can slip in and input the codes.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a reason I always cut that damn uniform around.
Do you have everything you need to perform that kind of procedure?
I can do it to one person probably. It's a lot of collagen. It's just that and moving fat around in the body, muscle. We don't touch muscles. It's all about fat. If I give him a bit of a jowl, we stretch out the cheeks, maybe stimulate the follicles in his face to give him more of a
Adjutant.
beard.
Yes, fur is good.
Owen just stares at the bottom. and
I've
the
never had a use for
top.
it.
You people are so pink.
It'll take a bit of time, but first off, you all need to actually rest. Yes, you are all clean. You no diseases, nothing bad, but a couple of you have some cracked ribs, some major bruising. I would lay off immediate blaster fire or jumping around indiscriminately, at least for the next day or two. Plus, besides walking into an Imperial facility, you need to know the layout. You need to know what you're walking into.
Well, what is this job? Like we got. Have we talked about the job yet?
It doesn't say where we're supposed to go. It just says we take the Amber Gauntlet to get there. Maybe there's a destination on the ship,
It actually has you going back to Pelagon.
Pelagon. Oh,
so he'll probably
Right.
just, yeah, he's making sure that we've got a ship that isn't being looked at right now, like mine is. Unfortunately, that's rough, but that's fine. Yeah, we're going to be taking the Amber Gauntlet. Looks like back to home base, and he's probably going to give us the job there. And I need to ask him a
And
few more
probably,
questions.
they're
Is there
dressing
pay for this
down.
job?
That too.
Just getting a new ride home.
And Jerome, we haven't given over that data core to anyone yet. I take
No.
it, right? We
No,
still
not
have
at
that.
all.
Oh, that's true. We still have to make the delivery.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That's true. At least we have that.
right.
Whatever else
Okay.
happened on that planet.
Speaking of which, those of you who need to stay here and get rested up, excellent. I've got to go, and Montan, if you could actually help me out as well, pick up a lot of our stuff from one ship and move it over to the other. Probably some things some of us don't want to be, trifled through by the starport team, including the data core.
Well, let's not split up. I mean, I'm sure there's beds to rest on the ship. Let's take everybody back.
I think we can do a little bit of moving.
I would prefer not to stay behind.
Because it's going to take, even if we round tripped it, it would take, a week and a half or so to get back here?
No, I'm saying we move the things that we have on
No,
my
yeah, we
ship
do
over
that.
to the Amber Gauntlet, and we wait until we are all good to go, and
Oh,
then
okay.
take off all
No,
at the same time.
Yeah,
We
let's do
can
it.
rest while we're on the journey back.
You basically need a couple of days. 2 days tops, you'll be fine. Sore, but fine.
Well, all right. Well, heck, maybe even the Amber Gauntlet has some sort of medical bay in it, for all we know. That could help out too. I'm at least going to go check it out. I'm going to have to if I'm going to pilot the thing and know how it works.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll go check it out with you.
All right. If anybody else wants to come along and you don't have bounties on you, come along with. If you want to come along, you got to have face coverings, or the doc has got to do something to change your looks.
I don't have a bounty. I can go with you.
Okay.
Nobody
Guess
knows I
I'll
exist.
stay here. I'll call Drakkar and see if he can arrange for some of that clothing.
Excellent. Yeah, and Doc, if there's any way for you to get more of that collagen, if anybody else needs work done, I mean,
Well,
we're...
It'll take a bit of time, and we'll actually need an actual facility, something sterile, because I don't want to start sticking needles into somebody and they get sick and get sepsis.
Sure.
But as I look at Andara, just makeup. Send down for makeup. Just a airbrush will get you from purple to red. I mean, red's a common color for Twi'leks, right? Red, orange,
Red sticks out a lot more.
tan.
What? Oh, sorry.
Okay. We can try that.
Simple makeup job. I put a medical mask on you. Obviously, you have issues with the air. It's too clean for what you're used to. So you need a little bit of pollution in your system. Ignore I'm speaking as your physician.
And it's temporary, right? Until we can do something
makeup.
about the bounty.
Yeah, it's makeup.
No, I mean I won't have to do it all the time. I have a lot of skin to cover.
We throw a thing over your head. Wrap.
There's got to be a spray tan.
Worry about the
machine. Hold your arms up.
In my
Okay.
line of business, it's easier not to overcomplicate things. Simplicity often works best.
All right. We'll be back soon. So then Traz heads out with anyone who's coming with him to move things from one ship to the other.
Okay. So you go to the, you take the speeder back to the port, of course, drive back through the city. hit the ramp at this point, since you don't have to take the tram, and go along causeway over to the platform. You go to the platform where you had dropped your ship off at, and it is not there.
The ship's not there, or the transport's not there.
The ship is not there.
Okay. Must have. Well, hopefully they move things over. Huh. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. No need to worry, everybody. We're just going to go to the Amber Gauntlet and make sure our stuff is there. Yeah. So then we head to wherever the Amber Gauntlet is.
Okay. So you climb back into the speeder and hit the causeway down about a quarter mile further to another platform that's nearby. Actually, most of the platform is empty. There's only 2 ships here. So one of which does appear to be painted kind of amber, orangish in color. Probably the Amber Gauntlet. It's usually a good indication.
Right.
I'm actually going to put that ship's image in our Facebook chat so you guys can take a looky. Oh, well, that's the inside. Okay. I thought I had had a picture of the outside too. Hold on a second. And put that down. 1 second.
I specifically asked for a ship with spoilers on it,
And racing stripes.
and it has to be red so it can go faster.
Great, we got a Nissan Impreza to go back to the other world with.
It's a Geo Metro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
The big fat metal spoiler on it.
So what you're looking at is an XS stock light freighter.
Oh, there's your stripes.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Nice.
Unlike the picture, however, you do see that there are, you know how you see that there's that one kind of big cargo bay off the side? There's actually 2 sitting on either side.
Gotcha. Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah, when we get there, get ourselves on board, and Drade at least starts checking out the ship, make sure he understands it, and makes sure that people's stuff has been moved to this ship.
Yeah, actually, everything has been moved over.
Okay.
I'm getting in the guts for checking out the transponder, checking for any tracking signals. I mean, besides the transponder, just doing a whole diagnostic.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and give me, should be Star Transport?
Space transport repair.
Space Transport Repair. Yep,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hope that's it because that's the one I have.
That would be it.
13.
All right.
Should have the droid do it.
Yeah. Well, your droid is in the process of splicing.
Yeah. Okay.
Or trying to come up with chain codes. But a 13 puts you at moderate. So yes, everything is tip top. It is fully fueled and ready to go. And in fact, you see that it has, it actually has, in essence, a transponder cooker. It has, which has 3 pre-built code signatures into it. In essence, it's like a license plate switcher.
Yep. Nice.
Well, I'll go up and tell Drade about that. look right here.
Oh. Fantastic. All right. Well, I'm glad we have that under control at least. And yeah, it looks like all of our stuff is here. Should have figured they would have done that. It's okay. It's from his people. So you know what? I trust it. I think we're still safe. Yeah, it looks like a pretty basic control layout. I shouldn't really have that much issue piloting it like any other space transport. So Seems like we're good. Did we notice if there's any medical-ish type of setup in this ship?
I did give you the floor plans.
Oh, that's right.
I can barely read it.
You can actually increase the size of the image.
I have. I'm just old. Yeah,
That's right.
let me try saving it off and Star Wars Hamburg Gauntlet.
Oops.
Open file.
That's what.
Oh, I see.
How much can I zoom in?
Everything's written in Arborish, so I can barely read it.
Engine room, hull junction, undergrate, cargo elevator, stables door, slides open. I'm just going around the room here. Cockpit, lounge.
But if you take a look, it's not labeled, but if you look to the left-hand side in the very middle,
Yeah.
there's that one bed with computer bay and whatnot. That's your med bay.
There it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Med bay.
Okay. Yep. Medical bay. There it is.
Oh, I
Cool.
see a Colto tank in there. Or back to.
Nice. Okay. Excellent. So yeah, seeing that stuff, then Dre's like, I'm jealous. Dang it. They have things that my ship doesn't have. Well, you know what? That's fine. It's great.
Well, your ship had an engineering area. I'm just going to have to make my own space here.
Yeah, that's true. But you're so good at what you do, Montan. I mean, I don't think you're going to have trouble.
Hey,
Okay.
Jerome, back at the house, I remember you mentioned that there were med packs and some supplies there.
There is.
I'm stuffing those in the bag.
Okay.
Anything that's left over and anything that will provide fluids. Like
So
yeah.
go ahead and stash down 5 additional med packs.
Okay.
Anything else has been used at this point. And I mean, if you want, like when you say fluids, are you looking for just like water or what are you looking for?
Any bottled products? Because if given the safety rating of these folks, I know I'm going to need medical supplies and fluids. So yeah.
So there isn't any there. You can fill some up in the sink, however,
That's what I'll do.
without a problem. So you can there's enough there to pick up. We'll say a full 64 ounces of water. And go ahead and keep talking. I'll be right back. 1 second.
So what did I miss?
Well, I want to grab a drink while he's doing that. So
Besides,
The new ship is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. New ship has 3 transponder codes and a medical bay.
I heard. I was just mean like before what just happened now. Like why I had to.
I'm just going through the house and taking any of the medical supplies that you will all undoubtedly need.
I mean, fair enough.
And probably, packing myself a lunch.
Yeah. The last I remember left off, we were, I think, talking about the whole Empire sneaking in thing. Unless we had the floor plans.
Step 1 of any sneak job: know where you're going and know who you're going to. I know the Empire has beachhead, if you will, established on the other side of this rock, but I don't know any more than that.
Yeah.
So now that everybody has obtained all the things from the little house, and you have now confirmed everything has been moved over to the new ship, are you heading out, or is there anything in particular you're trying to get on the planet of Elrond?
Let's see. Well, are they selling? No, that doesn't matter because that would be for the droid socket, but that'd be for the Blue Saber. We have the Amber Gauntlets. We're just going to hold off on that. We have a doctor now. So then he'll go ahead and on his comm link reach out to the rest of the crew and be like, yeah, so everything's moved over to the Amber Gauntlet. It even has its own medical bay. I'm sure the doctor's gonna love that spot. So we've got everything that we need. We just need to make sure we're all ready to go. How is everyone? Are we clear to actually take off?
Jerome, is it out of the way to order cosmetic supplies like basic makeup and an airbrush?
No.
Basically, while they're gone, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So by the time we hear that call, I may be helping Brittany spray down so she looks not purple. So at least it's one layer of protection.
Sure.
And
We'll say that was
hide the Leku.
yeah.
as much
We'll say that you put that order in through Drecker Kiona, who could have easily obtained enough of that. So, what color is Nasara currently?
Flesh colored,
Okay.
like tan.
Okay.
It's the Venice Beach Special.
So basically, the spray that you've got has a little Ugnaught that looks like Donald Trump is just like the best tanning.
I love that he's an Ugnaught.
With the
It's kind
hair.
of amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. With the
That's pretty
A
great.
small loan of a million credits.
And tiny hands.
yep. Ugnaughts with tiny aprons.
So yeah, do the makeup job, put a wrap over her Leku so that way they're relatively hidden, and then put a medical mask over because and I'm not putting any cartridges in it, so she just doesn't need to. She's just breathing fine, but it looks like she's got something over.
Fine. She's just looking like a concerned pilgrim at this point. Yeah.
Yep.
That's fine. Okay. Well, I mean, you get back to the ship at this point. Everything is ready to go. It has a faint scent of pine scent on the inside.
Very fresh.
Really is. Yeah, I spared no expense.
Not going to make you make a roll for this, but you take the ship off into orbit. Go through your calculations because you're not in a rush at this point. So between the new astromech that you guys have got, which speaking of which, this astromech is a T4 unit, not an R2. So Old Republic throwback, clearly.
Right.
But it goes through its sequence, gives you the correct codes to send you back over to the Tapani sector in the colonies. And Drade, when you look down at the time frame it's going to take, it's only 96 hours. It's got a better hyperdrive.
Oh boy, we are going to have a short ride. They spared no expense. I was kidding before. Now I am not kidding.
Tornor and his hot
Well,
rod.
All right.
I guess
Let's do this.
now you have new goals for what you're spending all your credits on.
I do.
Just need a few more jobs to go well.
Right.
Yes,
That's the spirit.
preferably ones that don't explode.
And takes off into light speed.
Right.
Drade's all hoping everybody gets into his new ride because we're going to dig through the ditches and burn through the witches. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty smooth ride. Obviously, the XS Stocklight Freighter, it's not like it's new, but care has been taken to make sure it's refurbished nicely, in working order. Got a good hyperdrive. And speaking of which, not this is going to come up, but since you're in the pilot seat, it actually, this particular vessel actually has 2 laser cannons, which are fire linked in the front, so very similar to your Gertok freighter.
Okay.
It has 2 double laser turrets, however, so one top side, one bottom side, and it actually has 2 proton torpedo launchers.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Colin, you're
let's-
probably going to want to mute yourself.
How many? Well, I guess that'd be one gunner for each turret. Is there a separate gunnery station for the torpedoes and the forward laser cannons?
No, that's up front.
It's just up front. Okay.
Yeah, so co-pilot could actually take care of those if you were piloting, or you could technically do all of them, but be down additional dice for acting, obviously.
Got it. Okay. Very sweet. Excellent.
But
That's a gunnery skill to use those, right?
yes, it is Starship
Yeah.
Gunnery.
Yep. Nope. Nope.
But you hit that jump, yeah. Drade, I mean, at this point, all kinds of mental list items for your Gertok freighter. It's just all kinds of things. You're like, I didn't know you could do that with this.
Jeez. It's amazing. Oh, you can fit a cup holder there? Come on now. Unbelievable.
But again, 96 hours later, you guys make the jump back into the Tapani sector. It only takes you a couple hours. Well, I would say maybe, I think it's like 3 hours ish, maybe a little bit less, for the smaller hyperspace lanes that crisscross through the sector itself. And after a brief landing, you guys land the ship back onto the Pelagian Star, which is the space station that orbits the planet, and take a shuttle back down to Pelagon. Pelagon, of course, for those of you who don't know, is an ocean world with most of the life forms living on platforms that reside on top of the ocean itself. So think Manon if you're a fan of the Knights of the Old Republic systems. The dominant life forms here are human, however, not the fish. Selkath. Shuttle brings you back down to the main platform that's on here. The main platform, of course, looks like a large city, but it also has outdoor parks that rest on top. It has several stories of buildings around it, so it's obviously a little bit more sprawling than you might see in the Knights of the Old Republic game. Dotting the planet, however, are several ruined platforms, remnants of the war that took place here within the sector several years ago. But the shuttle, of course, touches down. It is on a private platform that leads to a sprawling palatial estate, which all of you have actually been here before. Sans Ed. There are guards, of course, waiting out in white. I think it's white and, or is it blue and gold? I have to take a look at the house colors, but with the appropriate
I don't
house
remember.
colors of the lords that are that hold this that hold this property.
Drade makes sure that he took with the data core to pass that along.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Right, yeah, see if we can go meet up with Lord Exile.
Sure. And Nasara gets sidetracked briefly due to child aggro. Her child comes running up and gives her a big tackling hug to spend some time with her, since she hasn't seen him in a week and a half at this point.
Would I have stayed disguised on Pelagon? Like, people know me here.
Yeah, people know you here. And it would be a little awkward to wear that paint for 96 hours straight.
That is true. That is true. Okay,
A lot of
so
coconut oil. A lot of coconut oil.
I mean, okay. Save it for
But
mission.
of course, everybody is brought in. There is a waiting room in this large estate that everybody is directed to wait in, which, for those of you who've gone through this before, this is anytime you're in the estate, this is what ends up happening. However, Tycho was the one that was walking through those doors in previous instances. This time it's Drade.
Yep. Yeah. Just goes ahead and picks up the core, goes ahead and walks in.
Okay. And you've actually been in the office before. It's still got a Brobdingnagian desk with a globe off the side, just of an automated globe. It just shows Pelagon.
Right.
Of course, there's a big screen up on the wall for calls or anything computer or data related. There's obviously some books on the wall, so it's a mix of 1980s rich aesthetic, where you'd have like the wood paneling and everything on the walls with the built-in bookshelves and whatnot,
Right.
but
And
with
gold
science fiction.
everywhere.
What's
Yeah.
that?
And gold like fixtures everywhere.
Yep, gold and brass.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So he goes ahead and
So he motions for you to have a seat.
goes ahead and walks over, takes a seat. He's like, "We of course have what you sent us for." Sets the core down.
Good job. I am curious though, what prompted the additional delays?
Well, we realized that at least one of us, Owen specifically, still had a bounty on his head that was rather easy to find on the HoloNet, so we were trying to take some time to actually get that corrected, but did not know that we had a bounty hunter that close on our tail, so that cut that idea short.
I see. Well, that wasn't a bad idea. That particular system, due to Corsec's less than stellar track record, probably would have been an ideal location to have taken care of that matter. As you, of course, well aware, since that didn't go over, that led to problems.
Right.
So I'm not going to beat around the bush. This was going to happen at one point or another. I just had hoped that we would have had more time. There is actively a group looking for you now. I don't know to what extent they have information on. What I have been able to determine is that someone is feeding that bounty hunter information. That information seems to be fairly extensive, and he slides a data pad over to you.
Take a look at it.
He says, what you're looking at there is an intercepted report. What I have been able to pick up is They know that at least one of your members has a high M count. They are aware that Nasara is in this group, as well as Owen.
Right. Okay. Well, impressive that they knew about the M count. Wow. Typically, you have to get a blood sample for something like that.
If I had to wager a guess, I think something they were able to obtain something on planet with the explosion.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I know who that is then. All right. Well, they really know what they're looking for. Do you know who they are exactly, or who's contracted them, or anything?
Well, I know the bounty hunter in question. He says the bounty hunter that has taken to task to try and find your group is Carson Ardre. He's a Mandalorian, and from what I can tell, has direct ties to Onderon.
Has ties to who?
Onderon, the planet.
Okay.
Can I make a what would that be? A planetary systems roll to know about Onderon?
You absolutely can.
Sweet. Okay. That 3D plus 2.
I posted the spelling of the planet in the chat. As well as the bounty hunter's name.
At 13 for that.
Okay. Onderon is a semi-populated planet, primarily known for its jungles, as well as having been a very active hotspot during the Clone Wars. It was the site of separatist activity on a number of occasions until Republic forces managed to overthrow it, and it went into a political upheaval when the Empire took over.
Okay.
It is known that the ruling body, was the individual's name? It was Merrick, I think. Thumeric. His name short for Merrick, but Thumeric was supposed to be the Lord who was going to take over and rule, and in a coup he was killed, and another person has stepped up into his stead, and they are obviously pro-Empire.
Okay. Gotcha. Huh. That's a pro-Empire world. What about people recently, if I'm not mistaken?
Oh, sorry. His full name is Thumeric Rand.
Thumeric Rand. Okay.
So Rann.
Okay.
He says, so this is going to pose a particularly bad problem. Whoever has that high M count, it's going to likely wind up on a bounty puck, which means all that information will be easily obtainable to any bounty hunter who takes this. But in specific, it may enable them to track that individual.
Right. Well, that's going to be more and more difficult to withhold since there are two individuals with relatively high M counts.
I'm
and
aware.
Speaking of which, might as well let you know, again, since like you just said, you're aware. I made the call that each of us was to let each other know why we're in this crew, what's happened in their past. That way we know what we're dealing with. So everyone agreed. We are more or less aware of what's going on. With that said, it would be prudent if the two of us that had the high M count were able to access more tutelage. And since you were able to find all of us, I am hoping you have the resources to find somebody else.
That is a big ask, especially given the risk.
I totally understand, but as you're aware of who we are and what we do, it's not as if we had that much training in what we do. Unfortunately, we were, well, in service for something else, and they didn't give us the time to actually learn the skills we needed. I know, big ask. I didn't expect to find anybody like us ever again, but if there's anyone who can, it seems to be you. If you can't, I understand. I just, it would be better if we had the skills that we were being trained for.
I understand. Let me see what I can potentially dig up. That is a very big ask, and I don't know if any contacts that I have would want to reveal themselves in that nature, especially given the circumstances. But I will see what I can do.
That's all I ask. I appreciate whatever you can do. Right. Okay, so the bounty hunter, Carson Ardre, they're on to us. Do you know how many are in this group that's helping him out?
If I am correct, I probably am, but I'm having to operate with a hole potentially in the intelligence that I've been able to obtain. I believe you are potentially the victims of inner house politics. I believe he may be tied to Massetti Assassins, which is a rival house within this sector.
Okay. Do you happen to know if there's any way we could take the fight to them? If theoretically, then, if we stop them from hunting us, then that at least keeps some heat off our backs.
I understand. That, however, is for the time being is not your role.
Understood.
I still need you in play for other things that are going to, if my gamble is to pay off, of the utmost importance. Which is why the next job that I'm giving you is hopefully a simple run by its nature. But we all know how those go.
Right. Well, what do you have for us?
And it's the hold on 1 second. It is he tells you you're going to make a run to the planet of Braca. He says it's another salvage run. But this particular vessel that you've been given for the time being has expanded cargo space specifically for that reason.
Ah, excellent. Okay. What's the cargo exactly that we're trying to pick up?
Cargo's already been taken care of. All you need to do is land and pick it up. However, I have arranged for some time. Should there be anything that you might find useful that you might want to utilize on the Blue Saber later on. It is a guild-controlled planet, however, so keep that in mind. They are not directly tied to the Empire, but they will work for whoever pays them the most credits.
Right. Okay.
So be on your guard.
Got it. All right. Do we have a name of any contacts we're to meet who would exchange the cargo?
Yes, and he provides you the name.
Okay. Speaking of which, we've had problems identifying ourselves to our contacts before. Is there anything we should say to your contact that would let them know we're on your side?
Normally, I would say yes, but this needs to be like an above the board transaction.
Okay.
This is merely a simple salvage run for additional internal parts.
All right. Will they notice the amber gauntlet and act accordingly with the right salvage, or are we going to have to?
No, that is correct. They already the contact is already expecting the amber gauntlet at this point.
Fantastic. And I take it we bring that here, or is there another location off of Braca you want the salvage to go?
You will actually take that to the Pelagian Star space station for the time being. If there is a change of plans, I will communicate that to you.
Understood. All right. The pay, everyone is going to want to know what the compensation will be.
10,000 credits again.
Excellent.
Same escalators in the contract.
Understood. And the extra time you've built into this schedule we have, how much time is that exactly?
Give or take, you should have roughly 2 additional hours to browse. They should have much of what they have on planet in a catalog, so it shouldn't be difficult. But the planet itself is a giant salvage yard akin to Korad. But most of the vehicles that have been crash landed and salvaged here are primarily from the Clone Wars.
Oh, interesting. Good opportunity. All right, we'll use those 2 hours well then. All right. Head to Braca. It's a regular salvage run. They're going to notice the amber gauntlet, beware it's guild controlled, don't do anything stupid. And then we've got 2 additional hours to browse. We deliver that back here to the Pelagian Star up in orbit, and it's 10,000 with the same escalators. Am I missing anything?
No, but I did want to let you know that because your Blue Saber is very hot right now, I'm taking the liberty of adding in an additional transponder system that will allow you to potentially fool them. It is something your slicer is likely going to have to modify from time to time, but it won't exactly be easy. I will attempt to load it with a couple of transponder codes to start, should you be in a pinch and caught out in the open.
Much appreciated. Yeah. Still have payments on that thing, too. I have a lot to work towards, but much appreciated. Excellent. All right. Well, if there's...
Well, keep in mind, if you're caught with that built into the ship, they're going to know you're a smuggler.
Right.
So
right.
that ship will get impounded immediately.
Right.
I did want to alert you to that.
Fair enough. Yeah, you're not supposed to have that on a ship. Makes sense. Well, excellent. Is there anything else you need from me, Lord Tornar?
Be prepared for the next step.
Okay.
Is your group adequately equipped for space navigation and mapping?
Space navigation. We do have a T4 droid. It's got some astrogation skills, so it's probably going to help out there. Depending on the ship we're going to have access to, we could probably do it. So we're going to need to map a route, I take it, next time?
That is what we're looking at. Given the circumstances, I need to escalate certain matters.
I see.
And this is one of which I cannot afford to push back any further.
Noted. All right, I'll let the crew know, and we'll make sure that we're ready for that. If there's anything else we'll need, we'll get that before it's time. So, if that's it, I'll get to the crew and we'll be on our way.
Good luck.
Stands up, and were we already given the 10,000 from the previous job, or did he hand that to us? Okay, good.
Yep.
All right. Got that, and walks out to meet up with the rest of the crew.
Okay.
So, walks into the waiting area where everyone else is at, walks up to everybody. Are we pretty much alone in that area, or are there other people in there? Okay. So
there
we're
are
there.
guards nearby, but not directly in the waiting room.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, walks up to him. He's like, all right, crew. So next run is going to be similar. Salvage run. We're heading to Oberon. Or no, we're headed to Braca. Sorry, we're headed to Braca. Salvage run using the Amber Gauntlet. It is guild controlled, so we want to be on our best behavior and not let them know who we are and act like everything is above board.
Did you? Oh, sorry.
I'll go for it.
Oh, did you ever find out who that bounty hunter that was chasing us was?
He actually did find out for us. His name's Carson Ardre. Any of you ever heard of this person before?
Can I make a knowledge check for that, Dad?
Sure.
Can I make a knowledge check for that?
Sure.
You're not my dad, but I would like to make a knowledge check.
You're not my dad.
Go ahead.
Hell, why not? I'll roll for it too.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Would
No,
that
it was
just be
just-
straight knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. 11.
14.
No.
13.
Okay. So what do we got? So we got 14. It's the highest roll. And Nasara, you have not rolled?
Not yet. I texted to ask you if I get any bonuses for that.
Oh,
roll.
gotcha. Oh, because I said Onderon. Give yourself +2.
$14.
16.
16.
Ah, nice.
She got a wild die.
Yep, she did.
All right. So, Brittany, actually, yes, you have heard of him. Rumor is that he was the Mandalorians work off of foundlings, basically like abandoned children or whatnot that find their way to them one way or the other. And Carson Ardre is from Onderon. Not a whole lot of background story outside of the fact that it's believed that he may have found armor like from way back when the Mandalorian Wars took place over Onderon and Duxon. That he may have found like some like old parts and whatnot and made a makeshift version of the armor, and that's how he ended up coming to their attention and then eventually legitimately earned his way in as a child.
I have heard of this person. Because I'm from Onderon. Well, I'm not from there, but my husband is from there.
Ah. What do you know?
Well, if you know much about Onderon, it was a site that was heavily influenced by or heavily affected by the Mandalorian Wars back in the day, and there's a lot of wreckage if you know where to look for it. And apparently, this Carson Ardre was from Onderon and found some of this armor and found his way somehow into the ranks of the Mandalorians.
Yeah, that's info we've got too. Mandalorian has direct ties to Onderon. That seems to be who's after us. And another thing, just to make everyone aware, has anyone heard of the Massetti assassins?
Massetti assassins, huh?
Well, the Massetti are one of the houses here on Pelagon.
Well,
Yeah.
in the Tapani sector.
Well, in the Tapani sector here. There's this whole complication about different houses, and again, alien racism tends to play a part between some of that, and with some houses like this one that we're working for accept aliens in their ranks and others don't. But I mean, they're, economics and power and, the usual politics that go into everything. But Massetti is one of the houses here. And
Well,
Lord Toronar has come up against them before.
yeah, he's pretty sure that they're the ones who are actually helping the bounty hunter. What with
Well,
all
that's
the information that
excellent
he's
news.
being fed and how quickly he was able to find us, seems to be what's going on. Just so we're aware.
Does he know that we're working for Lord Toronar?
It's a good question. Didn't ask that. But if it was Massetti and they're a rival house to Lord Toronar's house, I mean, would it matter if he knew exactly?
I mean, I suppose they could have other interests, and that's why they're coming after us. As we haven't made it known in any of our operations that we're working for him.
And we've been keeping our heads down for the most fact, so we wouldn't really have drawn the attention of the Empire.
Unless they maybe recognized the Ebon Hawk, or if they saw us on
No, sure.
Korad before, and know that we're associated with the company there.
Well, however they've made the link, it seems like they've made it. So we need to make sure to watch our backs. Would you know a Massetti ship if you saw it? Do they fly any particular flag, have a particular emblem for their house?
I would probably recognize the house, but I've only encountered them here.
Okay. All right.
Why don't you roll cultures there, Nasara?
All right. $11.
And 11 is actually just into the moderate, if I remember correctly. Just looked at the character sheet. Yep, just in moderate. So you could not only identify their banner. Why did that come up? It's kind of silly. Okay. Not only can you identify their crest, I should say, you are familiar with their house colors because you have run into them before at parties.
Right. Charming folks.
Don't let them pour your drinks.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll describe their crest and their house colors.
Okay. I will actually post that as well as their colors. I know I have it. I can't find it right offhand. But I will actually post that in the Discord chat. So that way you guys can reflect on that for notes or whatever have you. So
Sweet.
And that is where we're going to stop for tonight because we're just about at 2.5 hours. So
Dun, 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 dun.
dun, 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 dun.
Are we going to stay the night and then set out in the morning?
Probably, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, did we get paid $10,000 for that last job?
Unless he kept some of the money back. Looking at the credit stick he provided, was it 10,000?
Because I was waiting for a chance to roleplay this, but the aforementioned contract escalators, extreme danger is 20 or 30%, and high value recovery is another 10 to 20%.
That's true.
Am I the high value recovery, or was it the data core?
Well, data core was already taken care of.
Right.
The data core
we can
was the
probably
job.
discuss that next game, but the danger was something you brought on yourselves by doing something extra.
Right.
But he did pay Colin, or I should say Owen, specifically the extra 1,000 for securing Nasara.
True.
If you're bent out of shape about it, I would offer you my portion.
Well, I mean,
to
I spend all my money on the droid anyway, so.
Okay.
So
Then I'll tell
might
you,
wanna-
I'll throw in something nice for your droid next time we go shopping.
Sounds like you might need more astrogation real quick.
Aspiration, a new wax job, some things for fluids,
Get the fuzzy dice.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
needed for
And racing
the blinker
cosmetic surgery.
side
Oh,
drink.
I have the stuff for cosmetic surgery. I just can do it once before we would have to refuel.
Right.
Yeah, so I can do it to one of you, and you're the only one with a Imperial background that theoretically should be able to walk in and walk out within reason. But you're gonna need the code sticks.
Yep.
The code cylinders.
Code cylinders, yep.
So we may need to jump an Imperial.
Okay.
And Montan's like, deal.
I even brought my own stick.
So next game we're going to be playing for this is in 2 weeks. So that is the 31st of July.
My goodness.
Coming
Oh,
up this
man.
coming up this Friday is our last Vampire the Masquerade game on the 19th at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then
So
we're going to be
sad.
switching over to the World of Darkness mix game, which actually takes effect August 2nd.
It's gonna be cool.
And then then we are doing Marvel Superheroes on the 20th, which starts at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So thank you guys all for tuning in, hanging out with us, checking us out on the replay, and you guys all have a good night. Good night, guys.
Night.
Right.
Arrivederci.
There we go.